that feel-good time, our series A More Perfect Union aims to show that what unites us is far greater than what divides us. This morning, we're sharing a story of an extraordinary reunion. Imagine being so desperate for your child's safety that you put her in the hands of a complete stranger, and then you rely on him to do the right thing. That's the situation one mom faced 15 years ago as she tried to get her daughter out of a war-ravaged nation and to the U.S. for medical care. CBS This Morning Saturday co-anchor Dana Jacobson shows us how the mother picked just the right guy to help and how only now they're getting a chance to say thank you.
20-year-old Maya Hughes and her mother, Zainab Cisse, who simply goes by Z, call California home. But 15 years ago, the two were on an extended African stay in Z's native Sierra Leone.
I wanted her to learn every bit of my background, kind of get back to my roots and visit my grandmother. Maya picked up speaking Creole within 2 weeks of when we got there and completely forgot how to speak English.
It was a fun adventure.
But Sierra Leone had just emerged from a devastating civil war and was not an easy place for a mother and small child.
I hadn't thought of that so thoroughly to know that the country is still not in the shape that it should be in.
One night, a fire broke out in Maya's room, burning the mattress she was sleeping on. Z raced to rescue her.
I remember the pajamas I was wearing. I remember smoke. I don't remember much after that.
She couldn't stay here anymore, and I gathered every penny I owned at that moment, went to the airport, only had enough money to go buy a ticket just for her, and that is where the story of Tom Perriello began.
We can build things.
Tom Perriello is a former U.S. congressman, but at the time, he was a young lawyer in Sierra Leone working on a war crimes court. He was at the airport to fly home for his grandmother's funeral.
I got to the front of the line, and the airline attendant said, "You're Tom Perriello, right?" And which I got from time to time, and I said, "Sure."
So we get to the airport to ask the counter clerk to see who was traveling to the United States. She goes in Creole, "Dat white man," meaning that white man over there is traveling. I approached him. I said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "Could you please travel with my daughter? It's an emergency."
And of course, my response was, no, and may I repeat, heck no.
And so I pleaded with him, and he finally said, "Okay, I'll do it."
The two strangers boarded a plane to head home. But first, they had to make a stop in Côte d'Ivoire, then a second stop in Brussels, Belgium, before heading to the States. In all, about 7,500 miles and 20 hours of travel.
I was just crying and crying, and he's trying to calm me down.
This is a long and complicated journey that frankly had plenty of drama and complications along the way.
He was singing to me on the plane. I remember that he was singing in Creole.
It wasn't even just that I knew one song, it was just basically one verse over and over again for about an hour.
When they landed at Dulles Airport in Virginia, Perriello got the little girl safely to her grandmother, but it was too late to make his connecting flight. He missed his own grandmother's funeral. Z would join Maya about a month after she sent her daughter to the U.S. For 15 years, they never saw or spoke to Perriello. They never had the chance to thank him, until now. We arranged for a face-to-face reunion in New York City, after the trio reconnected by email, thanks to one of Z's cousins.
For 15 years, I felt like I've been looking for a ghost, a person that didn't exist.
What was that like downstairs?
That was crazy, unexpected.
Is this closure in a way for all of you, or is it the start of something else?
I feel like it's the start of something else. I want to call it closure, but it feels like a new beginning because I refound him.
How do you thank someone for what he did for you?
You don't. You can't, honestly. I can never thank him enough. No matter what I do from this point forward, it will never be enough for what he did.
You have lots of reasons to say no to something, and there are moments to say yes, and I'm really glad that I did in that case, as crazy as it was.
I don't want to cry, but I'm really emotional about it because I feel like he saved my life, because if I would have stayed, I don't know where I would have been. I think it was destiny because it could have been anybody and anything could have happened, and he brought me back here, so I don't think I can say thank you, really.
Wow. What a decision for a mom to put her child with that stranger.
Dana says they tried to reunite before, but there were a series of misconnections that just never happened, which is why it took so long. But
And I bet his grandmother would have been proud of him.
Yes.
Work with
Totally
him.
worth it.
What a man.
All right, we'll be right back.